everybody. Lisa Sabaniak here from lifelikeyoumeanit.com, coming to you live for our Motivation Mondays. And I thought it's been quite a while since I've talked about self-care. I think it's a really good reminder, especially at this time of year, right? I mean, January, I don't know about you, but it felt like it had like 750 days in that month. And now that we're February 1st, like, yahoo! But it still feels like we've got quite a long road with the whole lockdown and the pandemic and everything that we've got going on, right? Trying to homeschool kids and get our work done and figure out the next launch and where our business is going and all of these kinds of things are just can be very overwhelming. So I thought this is a really great time for us to resurrect the conversation about self-care. Because of course, you're probably thinking the first thing that most people think with self-care, right? This is going to be that old song and dance about how you can't help anybody yourself if your cup is half empty, right? That whole adage of, there's a reason why when you're on an airplane, oh, remember those days of being on an airplane? When you're on an airplane and the, announcement comes on for the safety measures, and you're told that in the event of emergency, you put your own oxygen mask on first before applying the mask of other people, right? It's that same sort of thing. And yes, of course, I could talk about that. We all know that, right? But I'd like to talk about a couple of other little twists. So I'd like to take, first of all, that whole idea of, you can't properly help somebody if you're not at your best. And I just want to kind of turn the tables on that a little bit and just there's always going to be people who are going to say, yes, but Lisa, it's really important that my kids, da 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 da. And yes, Lisa, it's really important that my family, da 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 da. And yes, Lisa, it's really important that my business, da 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 da. And of course, everything is very important, and your children are very important, and your family is very important, and everything that you do is very important. But remember that those little kids, no matter how old they are now or how young they are now, they're learning by watching you. So every time that you put yourself last so that you can help them, you're sending a very clear message that this is what's expected of them when they grow up and they have their families, that they're expected to not matter, that they're expected to not be first, not be a top priority, that their health isn't supposed to matter, that their happiness, what they want, the amount of sleep that they need, all of these things don't matter as long as their family is happy. And that's not the message that you're trying to teach them when you are giving everything to them, is it? Absolutely not. So we need to always just kind of remind ourselves what other people are learning from us. The same sort of thing with our business, right? If we are go, 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 if we're available at all hours to our clients, then that's teaching them, if we're helping other people to become entrepreneurs and to make big decisions in their lives of their business, that's inadvertently teaching them that that's what they should be doing as well, which is obviously not what you would want to be setting them up for either, right? So you need to make sure that you are, in essence, really practicing what you preach, making sure you're looking at things from other angles, what other people are going to be learning from watching your actions, and if that's really what you want them to learn. But then the other major part of self-care is where I really, really thrive with. And this is the whole idea of teaching yourself that you are worth the time. Because every time that we've got a thought that pops up in our mind of, oh, I could really use a nap, or oh, I could really use a nice hot bubble bath. Oh, I'd really love if I had time to fix up my nails, or it's embarrassing me, even on a Zoom call, right? Whatever it is, within reason. I mean, obviously, right now we can't go out and get our hair done, but we might be able to do different things, try out some new hairstyles, or maybe even color our hair ourselves with a store-bought kit, right? There's things that we can still do. But the point is, every time that you come up with one of these thoughts, it's your unconscious that's sitting there saying, I'd really like some attention. I'd really like some help. I'm overwhelmed. I need some me time. I need some downtime. I need to just be. And every single time we push that aside because we've got these other very important things to do, we're then teaching our unconscious that it doesn't matter, that it's not important enough, that these other things to do and other people to help are more important than what we are. And if you're struggling with imposter syndrome and perfectionism and struggling with negative beliefs about yourself and your abilities and your place in the world and whether or not you can or should even do all of these amazing things you're trying to do to help other people, the last thing that you need is to show up at the table feeling like you don't belong at the table. And that's exactly what you're doing with your unconscious by telling it that it doesn't matter. What it wants doesn't matter. It's not important. Whereas every single time that you say, yeah, you know what, unconscious mind, you're absolutely right. We could use with that time for whatever reason. So you know what? I'm going to schedule it in. It's completely impossible for me to do it today, but I hear you. And so I'm going to schedule it in. I'm actually going to mark it in my calendar. This is how I'm going to start the day tomorrow. Instead of having a shower, I'm going to have a bath. Right? So even when you have this thought of what you'd like to do and you don't have time that day legitimately, you can still show yourself that you are worth that time and that effort, that you are worthy by listening to yourself, saying, absolutely, you know what, let me do it. And then you schedule that time and then you actually take the time. You're making and taking the time for what you have already stepped up to say you need. And that speaks volumes to yourself. And guess what? All those little eyes that are watching you see that as well. And it speaks volumes to them too. So it's a win win. Take the time that you need for self care. It's amazing how something as simple as doing that doesn't have to cost a single penny and can have such an impact on your life, can prevent burnout, can save your mental health, can really help you teach valuable lessons about worth to your family and even to the people that you're trying to help in your business. It's an incredible after effect that you maybe didn't intend to happen, but is happening nonetheless. It's more important than you think. I hope that this helped. I will see you next week. Bye.